All right, let's get started. Get started. Let's raise this up. Salam. My name is Mustafa. Get the chat up. Get the chat up. My name is Mustafa. I am. All right, let's just have it up so it loads up the next ad inserted. Oh geez. Oh no. Ad inserted. Anyways, hopefully you guys can skip the ad. But yeah, my name is Mustafa. I am. Let's get that on the screen. Boom. Nope. Where's why is it not playing the nameplate? Stock word. Okay. Only plays it once. Where's the nameplate? All sorts of technical difficulties today. All right. Oh why? It's all right, let's play it. Have to manually press replay. Properties. Let's see. It should file when restart playback. Yeah, like I'm having lots of issues with OBS right now. Maybe I should have restarted OBS before starting the stream. Anyways, get the got the chat on the screen. Okay, anyways. This is frustrating. All sorts of problems. My name is Mustafa, and so I'm a game developer. I've worked in the game industry, administrative work at Treyarch. I've done QA for a software as a service called Zwift, which was a indoor cycling game. I've done uh, solo independent work. I've released the game Nexus Defenders on Steam. I have another game on hold called Beware Tomorrow, which is a um, first person escape room horror themed game. And right now I do some teaching. I've taught game testing. I've taught hopefully the audio works. Let me know. Let me know, chat. Is the audio whoa, is the audio working? I think it's working. Because I was having issues. I was having issues getting it started up. That's why we started so late. Whoa, half hour. It took me like 20 minutes to get it started. Well, I guess without the countdown, it's 15. Anyways, yeah. So I've taught at the college level, teaching bug testing, game testing. I've taught intro to game development and design. I've taught graphic communication. Right now, I'm teaching 3D modeling and rendering the whole semester. And the second half of the semester, I'm going to also teach graphic design. But that doesn't start until halfway into the semester. So that's me. On this channel, when I have time to make videos, I talk about problems in the game industry. I share my perspective, especially from like a development standpoint, and also from my experience. Um, and we do weekly live streams. Try to do on Tuesdays. And let's say what's up to who's in the chat. We have Mohsen. How's Salam Mohsen? How you doing? Uh, Sorry, did you even play the OG Golden Axe trilogy? Yes, yes, I did. So I really liked Golden Axe. At one point, I was a really big fan of Golden Axe, especially like in high school when I got into emulation and I was just getting all the emulators because I was broke and um I didn't have money to afford new games, so I basically got really into emulators. arcade emulators, Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo emulators back in high school. Um, I liked the Golden Axe games because I was really into hack and slashers. Yeah, I liked that. I didn't really play the third game too much. Played the first two. Um, Third one was weird. It had that the Panther person, but there was one. There was a Golden Axe arcade game. Um, what was it called? What was okay? So Golden Axe. There was one that didn't come out on Sega Genesis. It was like an arcade game, and Gilius was riding on a dude's back, like this big barbarian dude. Um, okay, so let me put this on screen real quick. Let's look this up. Transition, share, transition. So there's Golden Axe 3, Golden Axe Beast Rider. That's not it. Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder. Is that it? I think that's it. The Revenge of Death Adder. I think this was it. This one was really cool. I like this one. Let's up on YouTube. Make sure that this is the right game. YouTube. Second. Let's transition back. Paste. Oh, now it's showing up. Now my nameplate is showing up. All right. Uh Revenge Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder. So this one, I don't think it came out on um but on mute. Yeah. Yeah, so like this one, Death Adder, he's all buff, looking mean. Then look at those effects. Get this started. So yeah, this is the dude I'm talking about, like this big barbarian dude with Gilius riding on his back. So like let's look at these characters real quick. So this one did not come out on yeah, so you have this kid. No one wanted to play as the kid. Who wants to play as the kid? Then you have this dude, this barbarian dude with Gilius riding on his back because he's huge. Then you have what do you call these? A centaur? Centaur woman. And then you have our main dude. Um So it doesn't have like the main cast. Like Gilius is on top of a dude, and the one chick, what's her name? It starts with a T, Ira or something. I'm not gonna pretend like I know all the characters' names. Like I mean, at one point I was really into these games, but not like I'm some super fan. But this one was pretty cool. Um, but anyways, let's get back. You played Golden Axe on Mac. Whoa, nice. Uh, uh, okay, so anyways, um, before I get into this, transition back. Let's get back on screen. So I guess I want to touch on at the end. Yeah, I guess I'll touch on um, what's it called? Grand Theft Auto 6. I'll touch on that in the end. I don't really have too much to say. I'm not gonna be reporting on the details because that's not the goal of what I want to do. I'm not like um a news reporter. You don't come to me for news. It's more that I try to just give my insight on stuff. That's the goal that I'm uh trying to do with this channel. More give my insight, and I don't really have too much insight on the whole GTA 6 thing, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I don't really have enough for it to be like the whole thing for this stream. Also, I need to get back to work. I have a class tomorrow, and I'm not done with the lecture, so I really need to get done. So, let's get to the main topic, which is Golden Axe, the TV series, the cartoon, the animated series. Let's get this on screen. So, because this is a trailer for a TV show, I'm going to pause every 30 seconds or so, maybe less, because from my experience, if I let the whole trailer go, then I get demonetized. Not just for the video. The video loses monetization. So that not only prevents the video from getting money, but it also prevents it from being spread on the algorithm. So I'm going to pause every like 10, 20 seconds or so. It's like a minute and a half long. Um, and in my 3D class, it just started yesterday. It's like I just had the introduction yesterday. It's a pretty full class. I think I have like 12 students or so. So it's pretty full. Like there's 16 spots in the class. But anyways, and I'm really behind on getting the class set up. So I need to make the lecture for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a demonstration. Yesterday was more of an introduction. But as I was saying, I'm going to pause. We're going to talk about this. One thing I will say before we get started on this, um, I first saw this trailer with no audio, and I was like, "Ah, that doesn't look bad." The audio just ruins this entire trailer. Because I was watching it, I saw it on my Twitter feed, and I didn't click on it. It was just auto playing, and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool. Animation looks good." And so let's get started. So we start with this hawk that has a village on the back, and just from watching the trailer, you can tell somebody who's in charge of the like the beats of this uh animated series, like where they're going, what's going on. Somebody who's in charge, somebody who's up top somewhere has played the games. Clearly, at least one person has played the games because this is from the game. Like riding on these big hawks.
In a time before history, in a land of might and magic, when evil rises, heroes rise harder on their trusty purple mutant thingies.
And this is where it falls apart. Like the jokes make it just falls apart. No, I did not quit the warehouse job. I need all the jobs at the moment because the teaching is not full time, and so I can't quit my warehouse job at the moment. Especially now, right now, we're getting more busy with the warehouse job with us moving into holiday season. So and my classes end in December, like the first week of December. So I'm going to definitely need the warehouse job throughout the rest of the month of December because that's when it gets really busy. But yeah, getting back to this, like trusty mutant thingy, like the animation actually looked pretty good with this thing moving around. I think I think the animation is like character design. So just to explain for those who don't understand what I mean by animation, the animation is the frame by frame movement, and the frame by frame movement actually looks pretty good. The characters are not the same as when I talk about like character design or art style, that's not the same as animation. Animation is the movement, how fluid it goes. Um, the character designs are not very good looking. They at least they are very recognizable. I can see Gilius. I know that's Gilius. I don't know who this is. I think that might be the kid from that we just looked at over here. Maybe it might be this same kid. Like, let's go back a second. So I don't know if it's tricks. No clue if it's the same kid or not. Go back to the trailer. So I don't know if that's supposed to be him or not, but like Gilius, you could 100% tell us him. This little thing that you ride, which is a staple for Golden Axe. Um this is like when you see this thing, he's like, you know, it's Golden Axe.
Mutant thingies.
It's supposed to be a beast, not a mutant.
Oh my God, it's them! I'm a huge fan.
Like they're all recognizable.
Though
So
three heroes,
they
Axe,
did
Tyrus and Gilius,
Tyrus.
level up to save
That's
the
the name.
kingdom of Uria.
So like the thing with these characters, they look recognizable. Where's the other guy?
Heroes, Axe, Tyrus, and
Yeah, Axe looks.
Gilius,
Axe looks dumb.
level up to save the kingdom of Uria.
Like not that his design looks dumb, but he looks like he's low IQ. Like the Tick. He looks like that type of character archetype, the big, muscly guy who's dumb. And aside from him looking dumb from his like especially from his face, he looks completely recognizable. He looks exactly like what you expect. You know, like going back to let's go back here. Oh, why did the new thing open up? Yeah, so Axe, of course, you know, looks just like him. But
From the evil
continue.
giant Death Adder.
To defeat Death Adder, we need an actual plan.
We're going to do what we do best. Face a series of progressively harder enemies until we have a big final battle with Death Adder. And then we kill him for good.
Till he's dead.
And I mean, aside from him looking dumb, Tyrus, like she looks recognizable, but clearly they how do I put this? She's still wearing revealing clothes, although despite that, they changed her body type, so it's less of a well, previously she was more like a fitness model. Now they just made her look like less curvy. They made her less curvy, and also like her face is more serious, like very um stern looking. So while they kept her revealing clothing, they made it seems like they made an attempt to make her less appealing. Also, there's the whole girl boss thing we're gonna see in a moment.
All the way.
Fire magic!
I was hoping I could join your quest.
Why don't you go first?
Found the trap on the first try.
Like all this bad humor. And also like we see her the most out of everybody. She seems to be the main character, either her or Gilius. Axe is clearly like I don't even think he says anything in this whole trailer. Probably has no lines.
And so our heroes fight all sorts of stuff. For Uria!
Oh, there he goes. He says something. Yeah, but he's really dumb.
That was for Uria.
You better not be another mini boss. You better be the final one.
Legendary kill.
It's just what us kitty cats do.
And like, you know, they're making this dude, I don't know what his name is. He's from Golden Axe 3. I barely played Golden Axe 3, but he's probably gonna be like the furry character, like, you know, playing off of furry culture.
Just what us kitty cats do.
I'm so excited, I'm gonna throw
And
up.
then we got this scene over here where she's saving him.
Because we're us! Sorry, we don't have a group name. We were barely getting along until 8 minutes ago. Sega!
Chop first. Axe.
And like, you know, just randomly yelling Sega just for the sake of like having that in there.
Questions later.
What else would you do with an axe?
I don't know.
Golden Axe. Whoa, like the game? Heck yeah. Let's freaking go. Thanks, Paramount.
I'm gonna pause real quick just so I don't get demonetized. Yeah, there's so much wrong with this. There's so much wrong that they do to my Achilles. This type of humor, like they turned this into an adult comedy show, and quite frankly, I'm not a fan of modern adult comedy animations. Like they're all just really they have bad writing, bad humor. Humor relies completely off of uh get off. Humor relies completely off of uh what's the word I'm looking for? Um References. Like just references and references. Um no real punchline, no pacing to the jokes. And why are they making uh, uh an adult humor animation out of Golden Axe? Yes, Golden Axe, the target audience for Golden Axe would be adults because they haven't had a real Golden Axe game in forever. So anyone who's a fan of Golden Axe is going to be like late 30s, maybe 40s, maybe even 50s. That age range, like maybe 35 to 55, something like that. Um so most most of the people who are into Golden Axe and recognize it, that age, but do they want a humor, like a parody coming from Golden Axe? It doesn't make any sense. Um, like it's always been a more serious toned show, and then a serious toned franchise. And yeah, there's not a lot to the lore to begin with. Like you just kind of like there's a screen that scrolls a story, and then you just kind of just start and play, and that's it. You just go beat up dudes in a fantasy world. um like the thing that's Golden Axe is most known for outside the game are basically um the cover art where it has like, just a big bodybuilder dude flexing and he's just wearing blue underwear, and then Tyrus wearing her white bikini, and just like this looking like a knockoff of like a Fabio box cover, book cover. So that's basically what Golden Axe has been known for, and then there's just suddenly like, "Hey, let's turn this into, um, some Adult Swim style, adult, animation." Who's the who asked for this? Nobody asked for this. Nobody. Um, this is produced by Mike McMahon, who also did Star Trek Lower Decks. Let me put that on screen real quick. Transition. So this is Star Trek Lower Decks for those of you who are unfamiliar with it. I've never watched it. I'm familiar with what it is. It doesn't look like something I'm interested in watching, especially like, it has the whole like Rick and Morty style, like, hey, look at us. We're just goofy looking. Um I used to like Rick and Morty, like the first, I think, 2 or 3 seasons, but then like I'm like, this is just they're just doing gross stuff for the sake of just doing gross stuff. Um, Let me get to the chat. We got Mustin over here. Let me scroll up. I got a lot to catch up on. Not hyped about GTA 6 like at all. I don't get a hype anyway. I'm not either. I was going to wait until it came out to PC and wait on discount. The thing is, it's not gonna get the Rockstar doesn't discount their games too often. Like I know they put GTA 5 for free on Epic Games once. Um, but like usually their games don't get discounted too much. Like Red Dead, I think Red Dead doesn't go down too much. It does get discounted though. It's not like Nintendo, um, never discount their games. Did you quit your warehouse job? I yeah, modern writing, just no respect for anything. Everything is just outright joke all the time. Yeah, because like what else did Mike McMahon do? Like a lot, like a lot of this Mike McMahon is that him? He is Mike McMahon. This is the guy. Is why you Sagan McMahon? Sagan McMahon? Okay, close. He's. I mean, guy likes being a man child. Hey, look at me! Yeah, yeah. I'm a man child. Anyways, especially this picture right here. Yeah, hands on hips. Look at me. IMDb Pro. I'm Mike McMahon. Let's see. I'm surprised they didn't make a pee joke about the kingdom of Uria. It's probably saved for the show. It's probably in there somewhere. But yeah, what I was saying is like a lot of these writers, they don't know how to write something serious. They don't know comedy. They don't know a lot of stuff because they don't read books. They don't read books. They don't consume good entertainment. They don't consume a that explains. So he did work on he was a writer for Rick and Morty, so that explains stuff. Um and he was a writer for or script and continuity department for Fantastic Four First Steps, which I never watched that. So I only watched this out of all his stuff. But anyways, um, this looks terrible. Like so one thing I'm doing with my 3D modeling class, I remember something that my one of my previous lecturers when I went to school, what he would do is he would start every class with pop culture. He would find some sort of a video, like a YouTube video or something. Maybe it's like a trailer, maybe it's something that's going viral and it's funny or it's clever, etc. He would start class with that. And the reason why he would do that is to get us inspired and motivated. So that's one thing I'm doing with my 3D modeling class is I'm trying to find something to show at the beginning of class just to get them inspired and motivated. Something that they might not normally look at. Like I showed them um this short, like 6 minute long animation. It's called Duck or there we go. This one right here. Let's edition. So this one right here is the CG Bros Duck. It was just a short animation. Wasn't anything world changing, but it had some nice effects and stuff like that. Um and just to get them inspired because I'm pretty sure most of them don't they probably don't look at something like this where it's like, okay, this is a good looking scene with nice water, you got some goofy looking characters. I don't know what, maybe they might all watch MCU or something, I don't know. But the point is to show them something different that they don't normally look at and maybe get inspired from it. Um, and I'm trying to encourage them to consume lots of different types of media so that they can get ideas from different things. And when you only focus on one thing, then you can't you can't build off of just that one thing that you're consuming. So there was one video. So I at one point I was getting these videos in my feed with Alan Moore. Alan Moore, uh, the writer. Alan Moore advice. So I was just getting like these videos in my feed, and Alan Moore, is definitely he's a crazy guy. Like he thinks he's a wizard, but he's also very smart. Um, yeah, read terrible books. This is exactly what I was about to mention. So in this video, he says read terrible books. And the point is, like, when you read, if you only read good stuff, you only have certain stuff to build off of. But when you read terrible stuff, you read terrible books, like he's suggesting here, you can get ideas, be like, yeah, that was an idea, but I know I can do it better. I could do that thing. I can implement what that person was trying to do better. You can get ideas off of bad things. One, but two, when you read bad books, oh, ad inserted. I didn't stop in time. My bad. Anyways, when you read bad books or play bad games, not only do you can you get ideas and be like, I can do that better, but you can also get ideas of like, oh, they messed up because of this. I can avoid that same problem by doing that. So you're learning off of other people's mistakes. So consuming bad media isn't it's not a bad thing to consume bad media, but if you're only focusing on one thing, if you're only focusing on like, oh, I only like superhero stuff, then you're not going to like get additional ideas to grow from there. So let's go back to the chat. My nameplate's working now. I don't know why it wasn't working earlier, but now it is. They probably decided to make the show based off the consumer metrics rather than any real creative vision. Yeah, that so what a lot of these type of shows end up doing, or the producers, the executives that greenlight these shows, what happens is that sometimes an idea gets pitched, and then the executives will be like, "That's an okay idea. It probably won't work by itself. So let's attach an IP onto it to make sure people watch it." And that's what happened with Velma. Velma was originally supposed to be a completely different show, but because the executives were like, it probably won't work. So let's attach Scooby-Doo to this. And that's how that happened. They attached Scooby-Doo to Velma specifically so that people would have like at least a certain amount of interest for that show. And you know, that's how some of these shows end up getting made. How many directors for shows like Halo have never played the game and refused to do so? Yeah, it's crazy. Like, well, like, I believe in an interview with the writer for the Supergirl movie that just came out, admit she didn't even read the graphic novel that the movie was based off of. Like they based the story off of a specific book, and she didn't even read it, and also like, you know, completely ignored the ending. So like that's why she botched it up, because it was based off a book that she didn't even read. The new Green Lantern show, I haven't seen. I have no interest in watching the Green Lantern show. I've lost interest in the DC universe. I haven't watched Superman. I don't have an interest. I've heard From what I've heard, it's like some people like it, some people don't. Some people think it's okay, and at the end of the day, I don't like, do I really wanna go out of my way to watch an okay movie? I mean, yeah, I was just talking about, like, reading bad books. Yes, I did. I guess I'm going against what I'm saying, but it's like I'm also really busy. I'm working on, a lot of stuff. I don't have time to work on my game. We all have bad crap. We know we can do better. All right. Hey, personal YouTube channel. How you do? Oh wait. I think dang, you should have had led with lower decks. Yeah, golden axe is the going to be crap. Yeah. I guess I should have led with lower decks. But personal YouTube channel. How's it going? Game that has a bad story but has fun gameplay can be positive received. Yeah. Um, when it comes to games and stories, so um, the story is basically what keeps you coming back to the game. It's more like additional, like an additional perk if the story is good. Though, um, a bad story can ruin a good game. If a game is good and it lacks story, then it can still be a good game. But if a game is good and the story is terrible, the story can bring down the game itself. Like, I mean, with Golden Axe, it barely has a story, so it's not a big deal. But if the story is just flat terrible, it's like, why am I even playing this? Why am I playing this game? Like the complaint I'm hearing about Soros is, the gameplay is good, but they're like, why am I playing this game where this guy, they're actively trying to make the main character unlikable? You think the idea that the bad story can ruin a game applies to The Last of Us too? I am still torn about that. Yeah, I definitely think so. Of a game in which the story can ruin the gameplay, because like a lot of the stuff with Last of Us Part 2 is fantastic. Like when it comes to the gameplay being top notch, the attention to detail with the graphics, the physics, you could tell the game was made by really good developers, but then you have the story and you have unlikable characters, and that can just completely take you out of the experience. Plus, you have the whole character switch, which I think character switches never go well when you completely remove character progress. Um, like when you're switching from Ellie to Abby, and then you completely lose the character progress. Like gameplay wise, that's frustrating for the player. That makes the player uh like the player gains an attachment to the character that they've been working on, and then halfway through you're like, nope, well, let's start all over with this other character. Then that makes the player frustrated. I remember so Final Fantasy 7 frustrated me for a similar reason, because with Eris, basically she would keep on leaving the party, and there were some times where she left and she had stuff in her, she had stuff equipped to her, and I was like, "Whoa, you left and you have all this stuff, like, you have this materia and everything equipped on you, and I don't have any more because it's still equipped to you." That was really frustrating that it didn't make sense as to why the developers didn't make it so that when she leaves the party, all her stuff comes back to you. Because, like, okay, first of all, I wanna sell her, weapons and armor so I can get some money, but 2, like, sometimes I gave her some good materia so that, um, like, because I had to catch her up, because she also, every time she left, she didn't level up with the rest of the party. So she'd come back and she's like 5 levels below everybody else, and it's like, "Okay, I gotta catch her back up. I gotta grind and level her back up," and that was always frustrating. So, uh, these type of mechanics, switching up the characters or taking characters away, it's frustrating for the player. It's not a mechanic that improves the experience. Um, let's get back here. In my opinion, story is more important in RPGs. I've recently finished Beast of Reincarnation. Interesting concept, but storytelling is quite stiff. Um, I don't know too much about Beast of Reincarnation. I know it's made by what's it, Game Crazy, I think, the developers of the Pokemon games, and this is like their first non-Pokemon game in a long time. I don't know too much about the gameplay, so how'd that go? You like the game? Let me know about it. I really want to make a game with the new Final Fantasy Rebirth combat system. It's so peak. Last time we had something that good was Arkham combat system. I haven't played the new Final Fantasy 7 game. I have to look into that. But I do agree. Personal YouTube channel. I agree with story is more important in some genres than others. Like as you mentioned, RPGs, definitely story is a big draw when it comes to RPGs. Um, with JRPGs, like the plot, the story beats, the ongoing story is more important. When it comes to a Western RPG, like you have your Skyrim games, it's more about um the world building. The world building is more important for those type of games like Fallout, and the smaller stories, the NPCs, and building the world is more important for those type of games. But of course, you also have like adventure games, like the Telltale games. Yeah, Dispatch that came out, I think, last year. So stories are more important for certain genres than others. Um, Power World, not Pokemon. Okay. Oh, it's made by the people who made Power World. That was made by on Beast of Reincarnation Dev. Game Freak. Okay, Game Freak. What did Game Freak make? Game Freak. Oh, I said Game Crazy. Game Crazy something else. Game Freak. Yeah, they make Pokemon. They're best known for right here. Let me put on screen. Yeah, I'm not making stuff up. Japanese video game developer, best known as primary developer and co-owners of Pokemon series of role playing. See, I didn't make anything up. So like they've been making all these Pokemon games. When was the last time? Little Town Hero, Gigarex. So it looks like they have a few non Pokemon games here and there. Mario and Wario, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue. Anyways, so let's get this off screen. So how far into the stream am I? 1 second. Let's because we're going to start talking. Okay, so we got about 40 minutes left on the stream. So the next thing I wanted to cover is related to the trailer, the Golden Axe trailer. So this guy, Possum Reviews. Maybe you got. Let me read this real quick before I move on. Beast reincarnation is supposedly triple A, but experience was double A at best. Oh, okay. Uh, I want to make a video talking about stuff, but like I just don't have time to make videos at the moment. I will probably it's probably gonna be a few months before I get back into making videos. Because when I make a video, it's like a whole day. It's a whole day of like writing a script, editing, or writing a script, then recording it, then editing it, and it's just a whole process. Sometimes it takes 2 days. Um, Power devs tried new game for correction. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I'm not mad at you. But let's so here's Possum Reviews. So Possum Reviews, like replied to I don't know, like if you guys might be familiar with Possum Reviews. I've seen Possum Reviews' thumbnails show up in my feed before, but I don't think I've actually seen any of his videos. But he has a big following, 100,000 on Twitter, and I think like just as big. I mean, bigger on YouTube. Let's see how big. Oh, a 4-minute video. Okay, go to the Possum Review. How big is Possum Reviews channel? So some of you might be familiar. A quarter of a million subs. Um. Anyways, close that out. Go here. So Possum Reviews wrote, he saw this trailer and then he wrote a list of awful millennial writing tropes. And then rewrote it. Hey, I made it 3 columns and also added a few. Um so let's go through some of these. So one of the things I did reply to Possum Reviews because one of the things that Possum Reviews wrote on here was um so he called this awful modern writing tropes. First, he called it millennial writing tropes. Regardless, he's calling this tropes for like recent years, modern, millennial, whatever. Um, and one of them on here is where to go references. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me position here. Turn this into text. Um, Go to Gemini. Gemini, turn this into text for me, please. I should have done this before the stream started. Turn this into text for me. So, well, I'll catch up with the chat while that's happening. Okay, nothing new in the chat. All right. So it's now text. Let's open this up in Microsoft Word. Word. Fortunately, I do have Microsoft Word because my school pays for it. There you go. Paste in there. Let's get the screen in a little bit. All right. So yeah. Okay. Here we go. Transition back. So one of them was just pop culture references. Was this that out? Yeah, pop culture references. And what I responded to Possum Reviews, but I don't know if Possum Reviews even saw my response or not. But I said pop culture references aren't a millennial trope. While I do agree it is a problem. Pop culture references are a problem, but it's not it's not a modern thing. It's not a millennial writing thing. Because what I said here is that like cartoons, even back in the 80s, had Humphrey Bogart's impressions. Like so many cartoons when I was a kid, like, here's looking at you, kid. Like I had no clue who he is, who Humphrey Bogart is as a kid, but like every cartoon had that. Looney Tunes, Ninja Turtles, everything had Humphrey Bogart. Ah, see, here's looking at you, kid. Like every cartoon had that when I was a kid. And that's just one. Like there's so many pop culture references in older cartoons. It's just you didn't recognize their pop culture references because you were a kid and you didn't realize what they were. That's they've always been around. Like anime, I said right here, Animaniacs was basically nothing but pop culture references, even in the theme song. Because you watch the theme song, like they're talking about like Bill Clinton playing the sax. Kids don't know like, about Bill Clinton playing the saxophone during the inauguration. I mean, they might, but, like, it was a pop culture reference. So, it's definitely not a millennial specific thing. It's always been around, but today it's being used more of a crutch, a heavy crutch. It's being used way too much. So let's start going through some of these. While we still have like let's go through for like, 20 minutes or so. Um Destruction postmodern to deconstruction of genre that thinks it's more clever than it really is. I would like to have a example of that, but that sounds right. Everything is ironic because they're afraid attempts at sincerely will be seen as cheesy. Sincerity will be seen as cheesy. Hold on. I don't know if ironic because they're afraid. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Everything needs to come off as a joke. I agree with that one. When something serious happens, but the drama is immediately undercut by a joke. Yeah, all the time. Like all the time. They always have to be like, "Oh, look at that sad thing. Oh, here's some funny. Here's some funny stuff." I remember I was watching I think it was Voltron. Yeah, Voltron. Like the dude ended up breaking his back. And I was like, "Oh man, is he gonna be crippled the rest of the show?" And because I have a back problem myself. So, like, I f when he like, when the character was, like, in pain, I felt it too, and then they kinda just wrote it off as a joke and kept moving on. I was like, "What? He broke his back." Um, Messed up moral lessons such as portraying selfish as good. Yeah, that's a huge problem. Um, just to clarify real quick, it is fine to if the message is about taking care of yourself and not um neglecting yourself, I think that's a fine moral message. But a lot of these modern writers don't know how to make that a message. The way how the message should be portrayed to take care of yourself is that you cannot pour into somebody else's cup if your cup is empty. A good example would be when when you go on a flight, an airplane, and they're giving you all the instructions on how to, how to proceed during an emergency. They tell you put on your mask before you put on your kids' masks because it's important that you need to be at your peak so that you can help other people. If you're not making sure your mask is on first, then you're setting yourself up for failure if you're worrying about everybody else's mask on. So, like, make sure you're taken care of. And then, okay, all right, kids, let me put your masks on too. I'm able to calmly, keep control rather than panic. So, like, that's a huge difference between selfishness. They always, like, portray it as being selfish as good. "Oh, you're just thinking about yourself." No, you killed all these people because you're crazy, and you we're supposed to feel sad for you because thing happened? No, you're crazy. Aversion to heteronormative romance. I hate this word, but this is correct. This is correct. This is a bad modern writing trope. What we got here, Mohsin? When do you find time on video on these topics? I I would like to. um. Oh, real quick. For those of you in here, I think it seems like the only two of you in here today, but that's fine. Um, please hit the like button. Help get the algorithm going. Hit that like button on the video, and also gotta do my housekeeping. What else I gotta say? Oh yeah, members. If you want to help support the channel, $5 a month to be a member, you'll get a shout out. Let me do the shout outs right now rather than wait until the end of the video. Give me a second. Let's do a shout. I should do the shout outs like halfway into the video rather than at the very end. That way, like, um, I'm giving more respect to you folks who are um, doing supporting the channel with memberships. So let me pull up the member list real quick. Give you guys a shout out. I think there's only 3 of you guys, but I still appreciate all of you. Membership. So, it's $5 a month, and if you want to do super chat, I appreciate super chats too. But if you can't afford a super chat, just write in the chat. I like the engagement. So let's get this on screen. Get this on screen. Transition back here. So we have Zedzag Develop. He's moving up in ranks, a different color. We have Name Gnome, and we have uh Crystal Straight. Um so thank you all for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. Always hit the like button. It never it never hits back though. All right, let's get back to this. I'm not gonna say this out loud, but I completely agree. Like, too many writers only consume one thing, and fill in the blank. They only consume one thing, and they think that it's clever to uh, fit in their thing that they're into their writing. Villain is thinly veiled stand-in for the writer's dad. Yes, I believe I made a video talking about fathers in. Did it go away? Let's see. Did I make it go private? Oh, you gotta load? You don't want to load. Let's refresh. Anyways, I think I have a video. Am I able to father? Oh, larger. Was it this video? Games and media killed masculinity. It might have been this video. Where are gaming's real men? Yeah, yeah. I think it was this video. It was either this one or this one. Gaming proves we've forgotten about strongmen. I think it was this one. Yeah, this one I talk about like the different the archetypes that are all like bad father figures. And they're like a lot of times it would be like, oh, the father's the villain or missing or weak or stupid, etc. So yeah, I agree with this. If it's a sequel, prequel, adaptation, or remake, then it's written less like a story set in that universe, or more likely meta commentary about the franchise. Yeah, yeah. We saw that with what's it called? Dragon's Age. Like it's like it's being ran by people who want to be fans of the thing, and they're like, "I'm not really too into this, but I wanna make this more for me instead." So rather than making it for the fans of the original, they want to make it for new fans. They wanna make it for themselves because they see that other people appreciate it, but they're like, "Oh, I don't want you to appreciate it. I want me to appreciate it." And I I see, people do that with Souls likes all the time. Like, for example, Alana Pierce always complains about like you could tell she really wants to like Souls like games, like from software games. She wants to like the Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro. She wants to really like those games, but she doesn't like that she can't get into the zeitgeist like everybody else. Um So that's why she makes these videos talk about like, oh, they should add all these things in so it's easier for me. And oh, let's skip the ad. Skip the ad. Yeah. So she'll talk about all these things, saying, "Oh, I want it to be easier for me," and she's disregarding that the fans really like the games for all these reasons, but she wants to like the game too because she sees everybody else enjoying it, and she feels like she's missing out. So that's why she's like, "Ah, make it more for me." And that's how like a lot of these writers are. They're like, "Oh, I want to make it for more for me, not for them. It looks like you're having a lot of fun. I want it for myself." Protagonist was always perfect the way they are. Yeah, this is called the Mary Sue. Mary Sue. Because most of the time it's usually women. Sometimes there's guy characters. If it's a guy, the trope is called Gary Stew, but usually it's a Mary Sue character, and they have no flaws, and the only flaw was that they were holding back. The power was within them all the time. Same. This is a good character because they're really powerful. These tie in together. It's basically the same thing. Conflated high stakes with high drama. Yeah, like all the MCU. Um, at a certain point, like maybe around three, phase 3, they like everything became a world-ending or universe-ending stakes, and there's no drama behind it because, like, they're going to save the day. It doesn't matter if they say it's gonna end the universe. Um, there's no tension behind it. Soapboxing, yeah. Soapbox. Gotta lecture to, the audience. Like, the audience are already on board. Like, don't nag them to death. Give them something to think about. There's a difference between giving them something to think about and questioning their beliefs versus lecturing to them and saying, "This is why you're bad. This is what you need to do." It's sci-fi fantasy, so it doesn't have to be consistent with its own internal logic or established rules. Space Wizards argument. Yeah, so I see people make this argument all the time. I'll give an example. What was the example with okay, yeah, okay, here we go. The Last of Us series. So you can point out that, hey, this little girl is beating up a guy twice her size. Well, it was definitely in at least in the live action TV show. So, she beats up a guy like 2 or 3 times her size, gets him into a triangle choke, which he could have easily just literally picked her up and slammed her down, but, she put him in a triangle choke and he tapped out, and the guys that were, like, there with her were telling her, "Oh, let him go, let him go. You're about to he's about to pass out." And that's unbelievable because she's, like, half his size at best, maybe a third his size. And it's unbelievable because, like I just said, a man, he's bigger, he's stronger, he should be able to just pick her up and slam her, and that's it. And people will be like, "This is a show that has zombies in it, and a girl beating up a guy is what breaks your disbelief?" Zombies does not give her superpowers. Just because that's a zombies, so the zombies thing has a whole explanation for itself. The fungus, the virus, all these things, like all these explanations build onto the believability of the zombies. That doesn't mean that when you have explanation for this fictional and fantastical thing, it doesn't mean that anything else can happen without any sort of explanation. It doesn't mean we can have a character just start flying for no reason. Like if Abby just was like, "All right, I'm gonna fly," and then she just starts flying like Superman with zero explanation, people are gonna look at that and be like, "Why is she flying?" And then if the response is, "There's zombies in the show," that's get out of my face. The zombies is not an explanation for her flying. And this is where the argument falls apart because believability and realistic are not the same thing. Realistic can be believable because it is familiar to us and it is what's familiar makes things more believable and we have to think less about it. So realistic can be believable, but believable doesn't have to be realistic because believable just needs an explanation that's good enough to uh to bend our suspension of disbelief. It just needs a good enough explanation. Sometimes it doesn't even need to be like explained too deeply. It just needs to like, okay, zombie outbreak. All right, okay, go. That's it. That's all I need to know. Zombie outbreak. Good enough. I understand what a zombie outbreak is. But like, people just all of a sudden they have superpowers too. They're flying, they're shooting lasers out of their eyes. When did this happen? Is the zombie outbreak also related to people getting superpowers too? Can we have an explanation? No, they don't have superpowers? Okay. So, yeah. Um, who cares whether or not it makes sense? What matters is how it makes you feel because these things are mutually exclusive somehow. I mean, this I feel like these are both tied together. Female villain is only evil because something a man did to her. What was what was that thing called? I think it was called the Bechdel test. Give me one sec. Let's see. Is it the Bechdel test, which is what is the Bechdel test? I think it was the Bechdel test, which is like yeah, okay. So that is what I was thinking about. Features at least two named female characters. The characters talk to each other and their conversation is about something other than a man. So this was actually said as a joke by it says Alison Bechdel back in 1985. So where she decided the idea, so she basically was complaining that all these stories with females in them, the females have to talk about a guy. And so people took this seriously. Like she said as a joke, but people took this seriously and decided they need to make sure that their story passes the Bechdel test. Because like, oh, look at all these movies that fail the Bechdel test. Um so we need to make sure it passes the Bechdel test and we have two named characters who talk to each other, not about a guy. And the modern Bechdel test, the modern equivalent to the Bechdel test is like is a female villain evil only because a man did something to her. That seems to be the modern equivalent to that. The man-eating, soul-eating vampire. Let's skip that one. Um, capitalism bad. Now we can sell toys. Yeah, yeah. What was the most recent? The the Outer Worlds is basically that, but a game. Capitalism bad, but what make here's a game we want you to give us money over it. Pop culture references. Yeah, we talked about that. And ugly on purpose for no real reason. Yeah, I mean, I have lots of videos on this. That's also a thing. I think because a lot of the writers, they are and, that's why this is fine for them to go for that. That's my theory.
Why are you gay?
Um, Safe edginess. This is because, that's just casual bigotry towards acceptable targets such as straight man, French people, Americans, yeah, um that's something I did notice. It's okay to, mock certain people and not others. Apparently, it's always okay to mock Arabs and Muslims because apparently Arabs and Muslims are the same thing. And but let's move on. Old IP reimagined for modern audience. That seems similar to what he said earlier about um this one here with the sequels and prequels. Protagonist is a shameless self-insert. Yeah, seen lots of those. Humor is person I don't like dies. More realistic anxiety attack. So yeah, speaking of this, so a lot of people think their depression is unique to them and telling a story of I am depressed, not even like how I overcame depression, just I am depressed. They think that is a deep and unique experience that is worth telling to other people. Like newsflash, in the modern day, everybody gets depressed. We all experience depression in modern society. Like we have so many comforts. We're living in air conditioned homes. We don't have to hunt for our food. We don't have to go out and farm for our food. So we have like our because of we have all these comforts, our brain comes up with new problems, and that's why we come up with we have depression. Well, also like we question like what's our meaning of life, which is a big reason as to like why we hit depression because we don't live purposeful lives. We work for, let's say you work for Walmart. You go there, you work 8 hours at least every day. You work 40 hours a week, and then you also have to do like Uber Eats on top of that. Like, and then you're like, what am I doing? What is life? What's the purpose? And then you get depressed. So, and we have like people like Zoe Quinn with Depression Quest. Is that even still on Steam? Depression Quest Steam. Zoe Quinn, who is the case zero for, yeah, it's still on Steam. She's the ground zero for what was that called? Gamergate. Released this terrible like just a choose your own adventure, a text driven choose your own adventure story about being depressed, and like the different types of outcomes are very limited. And like we have all these um gaming journalists who said this is amazing. I mean, of course, they said it's amazing because they got to sleep with her. I mean, that's why they said it was amazing. But point being, like being depressed is not unique. Like this came out 2014. 2014, so 12 years ago. People acting like their depression is something unique. And like again, it's only about being depressed. It's not about how to overcome. There's no real meaningful uh outcome or real meaningful message to this. So, how far am I into? Let me make sure because I got to get back to work. Let me check this out. Sorry. Go live. I think I hit that up real quick. Okay, I got 10 more minutes before I get to the 90-minute mark. So let's keep going with I could probably get through most of these. Back. What are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the chat. Someone told them, write what you know, but all they know is coffee shops and that. Yeah, that goes with what I was saying earlier. Some of these, I know like I guess he was trying to come up with like he was trying to come up with like as many different tropes as possible, but a lot of these seem like they have a lot of crossover or it's like the same thing rewritten. Cute childish thing is evil. Well, the reason why this is a thing is because it's a juxtaposition, and it sends a stronger message when something is a juxtaposition. So you have a cute thing that is like creepy and evil. That makes it seem more evil and scary. But yes, it's overdone. There's a reason behind it, but it is overdone. I think like maybe The Ring really made it more like it really popularized it because of like it's this creepy little girl who's coming out of the TV and after that I mean I guess all the people who watched it were my age, they're kids when they watched it and then they're like, "Oh, that was scary." We'll copy it. Traditional heroic virtues are bad actually. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this kinda ties in with, like it's like the opposite of the whole selfish thing that he was talking about earlier. Maybe, burns down orphanages, but at least I'm not where let me find this real quick. Let me find this. Let's go back here. Um, images. Go to images. It's Gray Skull, not Gray Skull. It's Red Skull, and Joker. Yeah. Where is it at? Here we go. Let's get a bigger one. That's not bigger. That's small. Can I find it? Okay, let me change the search size large. I want a large one because I want to read the quote on here. Get it on the screen. I don't know where this came from, but a lot of people like to spread this. I don't know if this is like actually from open image in new tab. I don't know if this is like actually from a comic or not. Transition. Here we go. All right. He's like, I've been working with a Yahtzee. But of course, why are you so upset, Joker? From what I have read of your exploits, it seems obvious you would make a superb Yahtzee. That mask must. Hold on. I may be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic. Keep back, boy. This creep is mine. How unfortunate, such misplaced patriotism. And then they both gas each other up. Like, the reason why this is silly is because, well, first of all, a lot of people post this. They repost this as if they're making a point. And let me explain why this makes no sense. And I am in no way saying that Yahtzees are good. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you have somebody who is hateful towards other people because of a reason, because they came to a deductive, logical conclusion, then there's always the possibility you can talk them out of it. You can kind of like have a discussion. You can maybe they have a misconception. Maybe their logic was flawed and they need an explanation. Maybe their viewpoint was wrong. You can help someone who's come to a logical conclusion, even if their logic was wrong. You can kind of like they have hope. You can guide them the right way. Oh, you're a little misguided. Well, here's where you got it wrong. Here and here and here. Let's let's work from there. Versus a person who is completely crazy towards everybody, who is unhinged, who uses no logic and reasoning. Like the one who uses no logic and reasoning is the worst one because they are uncontrollable. They can't be reasoned with. You can't explain to them why they are wrong. The person who has logic to why they're wrong, like that led them to the wrong conclusion, there's a possibility you can help them out. So this whole idea of like, hey, going back to this. I may be a cannibal who burns down orphanages, but at least I'm not that, or I'm not a Yahtzee. Like this. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you agree with my take? Am I completely wrong? Pretty much solid list. Actually, a good barometer to do the opposite when doing your own writing. But let me know. Let me know if you agree if you agree with my take on this. Because whenever I see people say like, yeah, bring up that whole Joker meme and say Joker is better than Red Skull. It's like, is he? Joker has no rhyme or reason. Like the whole point of Joker is chaos. Pure chaos is not better than like a lot what we'll call this lawful evil. So if, you're looking at the whole Dungeons and Dragons um alignment, what's it called? The morality alignment, Dungeons and Dragons, then you know, chaotic evil is definitely worse than lawful evil because lawful evil at least goes by a certain rule set. Chaotic evil is just chaotic. Morality is yeah, but Joker is so he's better than Red Skull. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right, Mustin. Done. Time to close shop. Time to close shop. You got me. Got him. Got him. You did it. All right. Can we I don't think I can run through all these bad character traits presented. Well, like I feel like yeah, some of these are repeats. Satan demons good. Yeah, these are like reworded repeats. Whoa. Whoa. I'll I don't feel like these two examples he gave are good examples. So my two examples, if I was talking about this, if I put this on the list, it would be um obese, specifically women, and furries. Those would be on the list. I feel like I don't feel like these are considered safe. Like I don't feel like these are used that often, but like obese and furries, and also like just um big jaw women, big man jaws, which I don't feel like it's the same thing as this, because they're not always muscular. But let me get rid of mine. Um, I don't. I kind of agree with that one, but I think the examples you use are wrong. Human is centered around that. Um, this isn't something new. Like Ren and Stimpy has been around for forever. Like it's been around since the 90s, and that's all that Ren and Stimpy was. Maybe Ren and Stimpy helped normalize this dumb humor because I mean, like, it wasn't this though. I don't think it was that, but like there was like booger jokes, fart jokes, stuff like that, and yeah, that's having humor that's just gross out humor is lazy humor. If that's the only thing you're doing is just gross out shock value humor, it's lazy. So we got that delete, delete. We got these meme references. That's the same thing as pop culture references, which he already had on the list. The church are the bad guys. This, um, I'm so tired of it, especially with like I see it a lot in space stories. Um, what's it called? Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, the one that was made by the published by Square Enix. It's like the third person shooter. Um, like it's like they always want like whenever there's a space church, they're always a cult, and also an anime as well, like the Full Metal Alchemist, Berserk. Like it's always like the church is evil. What's it called? Castlevania. The church is always evil, always. Um, whenever any argument is predetermined by where they sit on the progressive stack, I guess so. Would like the comma equals, yeah. That this ties in with the whole um thing I was talking about earlier with depression. Like your depression is not unique. Come up with something better than just I have depression. Storia's author's personal therapy session. Therapy speak. Oh, this like dude, you wrote the same thing 2 times. You wrote the same thing 2 times. More support for whatever happens in the current political issue. Yeah, this is a thing too. Too much. Um, this is what we just saw with Golden Axe. All male characters are stupid, evil, or both. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, yeah. So we went through most of that. I agree. With most of it. That we went through. Let's uh, let's start wrapping up the show. Let's transition back here. Y'all have a nice stream. Hey, name gnome, you made it. Glad to see you. Glad to see your support. Church bad is a legit thing, though. It's like the one true criticism. It's overplayed these days. That would be my pro. Yeah. Well, the thing is, so while it is overplayed, but it also my major issue is that it basically church bad trope basically represents all religion. Like they basically say like any religious organization is bad. While it's usually represented with the church, um th- most of the time the message is religion bad. And that's my bigger issue with it. Yeah, so anyways, that's that. Let's I guess real quick on GTA 6. My thoughts on that is that well, it seems like this CyberLeak person is chaotic, like just doing things, like burning the crypto that he got from it and whatever. I don't know what the goal is with CyberLeak. It seems to be all over the place. I don't know if it's one person or multiple people. Um, I didn't really pay too much attention to the leaked videos. I saw some of them as I'm scrolling through, and it's like, okay, that looks like Grand Theft Auto, just walking around in the world. Okay, so not a big deal for me. It seems like I don't think it's going to affect um the sales of the game one way or another. Like if people weren't expecting a Grand Theft Auto game from Grand Theft Auto, then I don't know what they're expecting. But I guess one of the things that I guess I have 2 points real quick. People talk about like the $2.8 billion stock dip. Thing with that is that these short-term dips don't really matter in the long run. What really matters is the projected path that the stock will take, and the projected path mainly depends on the release of Grand Theft Auto 6. So while executives do care about both the long-term projected path as well as like what's happening today, what's more important is the long-term projected sustainable path. Um, like the only people that really matters for the short-term dip is like people who are trading every day. So it's like, okay, if it dipped 2.8 billion, maybe it's a good time to jump on and buy some stock because it will go back up. Um, that's my thoughts on that. I mean, I'm not an investor, so don't take investment advice from me. Cosgrove, how's it going? Yeah, the leaks won't affect the sales one bit. If it's making the sweet sweet, then I'm all for it. Yeah, that's my other point is that um this is more about sending a message, and it's really goofy seeing all these people, fans of the game, who are like, they're being the meme, the fat guy who has a knife saying, uh, "Don't you dare attack the multi-million-dollar company," or something like that. Um, like the reason why people do these things, and I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not encouraging more people to do it, but like it's important to understand why these things are done, why people pirate to begin with. And it goes back to like Gabe Newell was talking about bad service. Bad customer service is what leads to um pirating. If you have a bad platform, then more people are going to pirate because of the fact that um whether the item's unavailable or it's too difficult, the DRM, etc. Like a lot of these games with crazy DRM, people end up pirating it because they want a version that's easier for them to run. Like the Marvel fighting game that just came out, Tocom, and like people are pirating it because the version that they bought for PC runs poorly due to the DRM. Um, so uh this is the reason why people do these type of big breaches and leaks and all that, because there needs to be there well not needs to be there the pushback is due to the overwhelming pushback from the push that's coming from these companies towards the consumers, and then certain people from the consumer base end up pushing back. That's the reason why this even happens. So that's my main thought on this, is that like if these companies weren't making these big decisions such as like, hey, no disc for GTA 6, then people wouldn't get so angry to do these things. You make the consumer base happy, they would want to spend money. People it, like people like spending money on things that they like. People feel a sense of like, yeah, I put my money towards this thing I enjoy, and they deserve my money because I enjoy it so much. So it's not that everyone's poor and they don't want to spend money and they all want to steal. It's more that if you make them happy, they have no problem giving you money. And that's what it comes down to. Make them happy. If you don't want these things to happen, Don't be the top dog. Like Rockstar's the top dog right now when it comes to publishers. Like GTA 6 is gonna be like the biggest release of modern gaming. So they're the top dog regardless. And for them to be on board of this whole we're not doing any discs, then yeah, then they're gonna be targeted. They put a target on their back. So, Rockstar, Sony, they got targets on their back. Again, I'm not encouraging this. I'm not saying like it's go out and do this, but you have to understand that these things will happen. It's like you have a house, okay? You have a house. And you put up a sign in front of your house that says "F you. You all are terrible people. I hate you all." And you also include some racial slurs in there as well. All right? How's your house going to be very soon? Is your house going to look good? Maybe I mean at the very least people will come by, throw some eggs at your house. Maybe worse, maybe people come by, throw some stones at your windows. You're inviting problems. That's the point. When you do something like that, you put a sign in front of your home that insults all your neighbors, you're inviting problems. And that's what I'm pointing out here. When you're doing these things, you're pushing so hard towards the consumers, you're inviting problems. You don't want problems. Do things that will make your fans happy. That's my that's my 2 cents on that. Um Piracy is a service issue. Yeah, exactly. It's a service issue. That's what Gabe Newell was said years ago. Like, it comes down to making the people happy. People want to spend money. So let's wrap things up. I already did the shout outs. I appreciate all you guys who showed up. All you guys who are members. Again, it's like $5 to be a member. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button already. I need to start posting links to Amazon to use my Amazon affiliate, but I don't have anything to post at the moment. I guess what am I gonna do? Give me 1 second. Amazon. Let's put my book in the chat. Level yourself up. Level yourself up. Wait, motivation, weight loss, fitness. All right. Get the link. What? Where? I don't see my book. I typed it. I taped it correctly. Level yourself up. Motivation, weight loss, fitness. Do I have to put the commas in there as well? That's sad. Weight loss. I typed in the name of my book and I don't see it. Has it been removed? Has my book been removed? Give me 1 second. Is go to books, search. Yeah, okay, now it is. Okay. Has not been removed. Let's get the link. Let's post the link on here. Because I need to start posting my affiliate links. Otherwise, they remove my affiliate program. So if you want to check out the book, hey, Mr. 10 Years, how you doing? You arrived right before I'm ending it. So okay, copy affiliate link. Yeah. So if you want to check out my book, go ahead. But if you don't care about my book, um, it still helps if you click on the link and you buy something, like anything. Because the way how these affiliate links work is that if you click on my link and it takes you to Amazon, then like the cookie store that okay, you clicked here through this specific affiliate link, and then within the next 16 hours, if you buy something else, then I'm basically like credited for leading you towards Amazon. So that's how that works. So you don't need to actually buy the book, but if you want to buy the book, check it out. Otherwise, buy you something else that you need. If you need something else, buy your vitamins, whatever. Okay, just want to say hi. I'm glad. I'm glad that you want to say hi. I'm glad that you're here. And so next week, I mean, I gotta get back to work and work on my lecture for tomorrow. But let's see, calendar. I think I work. I think I work on Tuesday. We'll see. So there's a possibility. Just woke up. Hey, good morning. So there's a possibility that next week. Okay, I work at 1 p.m. So that doesn't give me a lot of time to do this um and then go to work because I also have class on Wednesday. So there is the possibility I might put up a message maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. I might put up a message saying no live stream this week. Otherwise, I'll do the live stream. We'll see. It depends on how far I am with my material for the class, but there's a possibility I might not do a live stream, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks everybody for joining in. I appreciate all you guys. Take care. Stay away from Golden Axe. Tanam.